Women of the past knew a few things about beauty, about keeping a home, about style, about makeup, about skincare. If you think about it, they didn't have nearly the amount of options, the copious amounts of options that we have today. And yet, some of our most iconic beauties, the women who their beauty has just stood the test of time, that we all look back and say, wow, that woman was absolutely stunning. And to this day, we still try to mimic their style, their look. I'm talking about the likes of Audrey Hepburn and Grace Kelly and Marilyn Monroe and Rita Hayworth. These women were icons, and they still are. Generations still know them. So of course, I had to dig up and find some of the best beauty secrets from the past. If you like this kind of video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this. So many of you guys enjoyed the housekeeping secrets from grandma video that I did recently. I'll link that down below if you haven't seen it. Hence the attire, the hair, the makeup. I love it so much. It's so fun. I love playing dress up, and I get to talk about beauty stuff. So let's get into it. One of the things our grandmas just seemed to inherently know was how absolutely essential moisturized skin is. It is such an important element, especially in looking youthful, in anti-aging. When your skin is dehydrated, it leads to itchiness, eczema, wrinkles. A lot of that can be a byproduct of dehydrated and dried out skin. So moisturizing our skin is so key. I know my grandma always had a huge bottle of Lubriderm lotion, just the standard non-fragranced Lubriderm lotion. Every time I smell it, it just brings me right back to her home. No matter what budget you're working in for moisturizing your skin, there are so many options. One of my favorite in the affordable drugstore range is the Nivea Soft. Comes in the little pot. It's a moisturizing cream that can be used on your face, body, hands. It's wonderful. I want to say it's under $5 or $6. I'll link everything down below. You can find this in so many places. It's pretty darn affordable. Great moisturizer, one of my favorites. The next little pearl of wisdom, which I find kind of hilarious, is to sleep on your back. Yeah, like you're in a coffin. Okay, maybe you don't need to sleep like you're in a coffin, but sleeping on your back. According to our grandmothers and dermatologists and people who know stuff these days, sleeping on your stomach, sleeping on your face, sleeping on your side, it can lead to more lines and wrinkles. I try my best. I do find myself sleeping on my back a lot. My husband actually makes fun of me because he thinks that it looks like I'm dead when he comes in, and I'll sleep on my back with my hands folded like this. I mean, that's creepy. It's creepy. I get it. I can't help it. I sleep on my back and my sides. However, if you're somebody who's like, listen, I'm never going to be able to coffin sleep. I'm never going to be able to sleep on my back. So, oh well, guess I'm just going to be wrinkly. Well, first of all, make sure you switch sides so that you're evening it out. However, even our grandmothers knew mixing in a satin or silk pillowcase can really help with this. If you're not going to be able to just sleep on your back and you are going to sleep on your sides, you can really help your skin, your hair, all of that benefits from using a satin or a silk pillowcase. Helps with wrinkles, helps with your hair, getting greasy and stuff at night. There's so many benefits. I've been using a satin pillowcase for years and years. I will link a couple of my favorites, but they are an excellent way to help preserve your youthful glow. Okay, I have to tell you that I had to laugh when I came across number 3, which is to never, our grandmothers say, never shall you drink from a straw. As you could probably imagine, it has much the same effect as cigarettes do for smokers, people who are pursing their lips like this all the time. Oh, I sound like the guy from The Little Mermaid. You're making wrinkles. You're making wrinkles around your mouth. And same thing, drinking from a straw. Now this made me laugh because of the immense popularity, thank you to the social media craze of the Stanley Cup that everybody loves so much, has a big old straw. So if you're one of those people who's like, I'm not spending that money on a Stanley Cup, then you can actually pat yourself on the back, because while everybody else is getting lip wrinkles, you will be without. I just thought that one was funny. So do your best to avoid straws, which, you know, most of the places you go now, you're getting paper straws anyways, which are garbage. Apparently, even our grandmothers knew that straws were a no-go. Number 4, and this should come as no surprise to anybody if you've been on the internet for 5 minutes, and that's Vaseline. I see this constantly over the years come up in like beauty creators content. I'm sure that you have seen the trend of slugging that got really popular for a long time. Your grandma knew something about the many benefits of Vaseline and the many different ways that you can utilize Vaseline for your skin to keep you looking youthful and lovely. It's great for dry skin, chapped lips, cracked heels on your feet. There are so many uses for Vaseline. This is one of those things that should just exist in your medicine cabinet. I will even link you down below to an article that gives you a bunch of beauty ideas, different ways in your beauty and skincare routine that you can utilize Vaseline. For such an affordable product, this has so many incredible uses. So don't overlook Vaseline. Tip number 5 is about being gentle to your skin. Our grandmas knew that you could not go around tugging and pulling on your face, being rough when you were removing makeup or applying makeup. They understood the benefits of being gentle to your skin, especially the skin on your face. When I go to get a facial or something, the esthetician always, it's such like a relaxing experience, but they are always moving their hands upward. Okay, they're always kind of moving in these like soft and gentle but effective patterns and working upwards. They're never dragging our faces down. We have a tendency when we're applying makeup sometimes to drag our face down, or applying moisturizer just to kind of like, ugh. But we should always be working in upward motions on the neck, on the jawline, on the face, being gentle with our skin. And according to our grandmothers and all the experts, this is going to help prevent us from having sagging faces like bulldogs. Number 6, we kind of talked about this already in moisturizing, but coconut oil. This is and was a must-have for so many women in previous generations, from our grandmothers, using coconut oil for, again, a lot of different things, but moisturizing, keeping skin supple and soft. There are people who massage it into their scalps for keeping their skin soft, using it on cuticles. Again, so many different ways and places that you can use coconut oil. And just like Vaseline, you can grab a bottle of like this Palmer's coconut oil. This is the coconut hydrate body oil. I want to say this is around $7. This is something that is very affordable. You can also get the big tubs of it. Just like Vaseline, very affordable. Again, our grandmas knew a lot about being frugal, but getting it done, getting the job done, I respect it. Number 7, and this one I just wish I could scream from the rooftops because I too agree with this so very much, and this is exfoliate, 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 and exfoliate some more. Exfoliation is the key to youthful, glowy skin. We must moisturize, but we often will just continue to pile moisturizer on top of dry, flaky skin, and that is not going to do the trick. So Grandma knew something, and that was we got to slough off the dead skin, okay? You got to slough that off. There are copious amounts of exfoliation tools that are made today. Quite honestly, can be very pricey. There's a lot of different ways you can achieve exfoliation, and some of them come with a price. However, again, Grandma was frugal. Grandma was not paying a lot of money for exfoliation. They would utilize the benefits of just the grit of a washcloth when they were washing their face. Homemade scrubs. I will link for you down below a handful of homemade scrub recipes. One of my favorite ones for kind of keeping your face just really like bright and clear and free of like blackheads and stuff is a lemon facial scrub recipe. It's all homemade, it's super simple, and the only things you need to make it is lemon juice, a little bit of salt, and some distilled or purified water. Super easy to make and very, very effective. One of my other favorite ways to exfoliate is in the shower with a exfoliation mitt like this one. These are awesome to use with your body wash or whatever. I mean, you are exfoliating when you're shaving, but obviously we need to exfoliate everything kind of head to toe. So I love these for exfoliating the body. And then when you're ready to step up to the next level of exfoliation on your face, I believe it was Marilyn Monroe that was pretty famous for shaving her face. She knew a thing or two about keeping her skin looking amazing and youthful, and today we do much the same thing. This is my favorite product for at-home dermaplaning. You can go somewhere and have this done at a salon. If you are too nervous, you can have someone else do this, but I'm telling you, when my skin starts to look dull, before I go and I'm like, oh, I need to get a facial or I need to do a mask, I will be like, how long has it been since I've done dermaplaning? Because it's just the number one thing. It's the most excellent way to exfoliate and get rid of like the dead, dry skin, the patches, the scaly patches and stuff. I love dermaplaning, and this is what I use. It's from Schick. It's the Hydra Silk. My advice is to be careful with this. It's very sharp, so be gentle, be careful, go slowly. But there's lots of videos out there about at-home dermaplaning if you want to try it for yourself at home. Number 8, and these are just such like nostalgic things for me. I have so many memories tied to both of these products and the scent of them. First of all, the Dove Original Beauty Bar. This baby has been around for a long, long time. And there's a reason. The smell of it, it just brings me right back to my grandmother's bathroom. There's a reason that products like this have been around for as long as they have and are still considered to be great products because they do the job. And now they make all kinds of spin-offs of the beauty bar, such as the Gentle Exfoliating Bar, which I love, but the original beauty bar, you cannot go wrong with this, okay? And the next product, this one is one that I started using when I was around 12 or 13 because of my grandmother, and I used it for a long time when it so wasn't cool. When everybody was using Clinique, I was using Pond's Cold Cream. I may have aged myself there by even mentioning everybody using Clinique for skincare, but that's what everyone my age was using in like middle school and high school were Clinique products. Those were the cool products. And I was using Pond's Cold Cream, and I love that stuff. I still love that stuff to this day. It is affordable. You get the cold cream, which comes in the green jar. You can also get the moisturizing cream, it comes in the blue jar. These are affordable products that have been around, again, for generations for a reason. I still remember my grandmother using Pond's Cold Cream every day. If you've never tried it, I would encourage you to give it a whirl. Despite all of the fun and fancy products we have, Dove Beauty Bar, Pond's Cold Cream, these are products that you just cannot go wrong with. Okay, number 9, you might be tempted to come through the screen and want to smack me if you're a mom with a bunch of little kids, but Grandma knew that we needed our beauty sleep and that women especially need about 8 hours of sleep a night. Men can get by with a little less, but women, our hormone cycles, all of it, we need our sleep. And I mean, the research backs it up that so many things in our body like to do their regeneration at night while we're sleeping, including our skin. So without getting the proper amount of sleep and the proper quality of sleep, our skin can be dull and dry. We can look sullen, dark circles under our eyes. And some of us just have that anyways, but it's definitely exacerbated by not getting adequate sleep. You might be asking yourself, okay, well, how can I get better sleep? That's nice to say that, but how can I get better sleep? And you probably know, if this is not your first video of mine, that I love Dr. Andrew Huberman and what he teaches about so many different things about the brain. He's a neuroscientist. He's very, very smart, and I just really enjoy listening to his content. But one of the things he talks about a lot is sleep. And some of his tips that I have implemented that I have found to help me get better sleep are things like getting sunlight onto your face, into your eyes within the first 30 minutes to an hour after you wake up. And doing that again, at the very least in the late afternoon and around sunset. We were people who once lived mostly outdoors. And so our eyes are obviously a direct channel to our brain, which that direct sunlight, that real sunlight, not artificial lights, but real sunlight outside is what is telling our brains the time of day it is. And we need to make sure that our circadian rhythm is functioning properly, that our clock is working properly in order to be able to fall asleep. So it's really important that you get that very real sunlight on your face, in your eyes, in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening to help your brain and body know what time of day it actually is. The second tip I have implemented is to wake up and go to sleep at the same time every day. It's very tempting to be like, oh, I don't have much to do today, or I can sleep in today. I try to keep my body on a very particular rhythm of sleep. And the third tip, there's so many more. I will link you down below in the description box to some of his articles and podcasts about sleep. But the third tip that I have really implemented that has helped me is to sleep in a cool/cold environment. I love my blankets and getting under my blankets, but keeping the room itself cold. Essentially, your body temperature needs to drop 1 to 3 degrees in order for you to fall asleep and stay asleep effectively. I can tell you wholeheartedly that doing this has been, to me, one of the most effective ways that I have gotten to a place where I get much better sleep. I don't struggle with insomnia nearly as often as I used to. It's very rare for me now. And I do feel like I get much better sleep, and that I feel like is because of utilizing some of these tips. All right, number 10, Grandma knew you are what you eat. We've all heard this, right? We know how much our diet affects us, but our grandmas knew that they needed broccoli and radishes and some of that stuff that we don't really love eating, but they knew that that was good for you, it was good for your skin. And even if at the time they didn't really know why or the specific purpose, they just seemed to generally understand that certain vegetables and a healthier, more well-rounded diet was going to be good for your skin overall, good for your overall beauty and health. I'm not going to say anything about them all walking around with a cigarette hanging out of their lips 95% of the time, right? They knew a thing or two about eating a good piece of broccoli or beet or radish or something, okay? If you're like me and you're like radishes, blech. Yeah, I like broccoli, but radishes, no thank you. Beets, no thank you. There are a few categories of food and a few different types of food that can really benefit our skin and our overall appearance on the outside, right? And some of those things are things like vitamin C. Not only is it good in your skincare, but it's an antioxidant and it also helps in the production of collagen, in your skin cells being able to like repair themselves. And lest you think that it's just oranges is the only place we get vitamin C. I'm sure you know that's not true, but some of the best sources of vitamin C and most delicious are things like broccoli and cauliflower, tomatoes, some other leafy vegetables. There are lots of ways to get vitamin C into your diet. Adding in foods that have good essential fatty acids. These fatty acids are things our bodies don't really make on their own. So omega-3, omega-6, these are things that we need to find in food sources. My favorite, of course, is salmon, one of the best sources of good fatty acids, and I do love a good piece of salmon, but you can get it in walnuts, canola oil, flaxseed oil, and of course other types of seafood as well. And water. I think it goes without saying, water, so important. The hydration we get, our bodies are made up of mostly water. And apparently we need more of it. We don't have enough of it, so not only are we made of it, but we need to drink and consume even more of it. Drinking the right amount of water not only helps your body get rid of like waste and toxins, but it also helps your skin to be more hydrated, look more supple, youthful. Hydration, it's key. My favorite way to hydrate is with Liquid IV. I love Liquid IV. I've talked about it a million times. The coconut one is my favorite for summer. So good. I love it. It helps me drink more water. If you're somebody who doesn't like to just drink plain water, I like to add in a little Liquid IV and really makes me excited to drink my amount of water per day. And the last tip is kind of one from me personally. It's something that I feel over the years as I have gotten older, I have seen women of all ages, women of, sort of every distinction of beauty and beauty standards. And what I feel like ultimately, and this is something that I really believe our grandmothers and previous generations knew, because you can see it in the ways that they carried themselves, in the respect that they showed towards themselves, in the way that they dressed, in the way that they approached life and approached people. I believe that confidence, having that bit of confidence with yourself, to know who you are, to be able to see the unique and different parts of you that make you beautiful and attractive, and not looking around at other women's beauty and wishing to look like them, being able to see what is beautiful and unique about yourself and be confident in that, I think is one of the best beauty secrets and tips that anybody could have. We all know when you meet somebody who has this just internal confidence, it's not arrogance. Don't mistake confidence and arrogance. These are two very different things. Confidence says, I know who I am, I know what I am confident in that. Arrogance is, I am better than you, I don't have any empathy, I think that I am smarter than you, better than you. Arrogance is a different animal, right? But confidence is in here, it's quiet, it's something that isn't in your face, but it's something that we can recognize in other people, woman to woman, something we can recognize in each other. I think that that is the number 11 that I'm adding on my own here to the list, and something that I feel like every woman can harness regardless of any of these other tips, is that internal confidence that says, I know who I am, I'm confident in my abilities, I'm confident in who I am, and that's something that just exudes out of you. And quite frankly, it's almost impossible to fake. Leaning into what makes you uniquely you and beautiful in your own way, I've said it before and I'll say it again. As much as I love innovation and progress and modernity, I believe that there is room to hold space for the value, the traditions, and some of the skills and knowledge and frugality and all of these things. There's just so much that we can learn from past generations. I mean, listen, advice from the generations that gave us Jackie Kennedy and Grace Kelly and Audrey Hepburn and Katharine Hepburn and Marilyn Monroe and Rita Hayworth, Sophia Loren, all of these iconic beauties. I'm all ears. I'm gonna listen to whatever advice they have to give.
Let's make this love last till Valentine's. Let's spend this night together. Let this fire burn inside our hearts. Let us soak in all the pleasure.